For every good unreleased game like Sunman for the NES, there are other bad ones that were thankfully never released. One such example is Batman for the Super Nintendo, or as it's known by its alternate title, Really Shitty Batman, which in this game's case is a very apt title. So anyway, let's get into it. Batman, or rather Really Shitty Batman for the Super Nintendo. I suppose one could argue that it's not fair to review a prototype game with only 2 levels. But if this is the direction the game programmers were going in, then they were definitely starting out on the wrong foot. In particular, the game's graphics come off as really bland. The title screen alone looks so dull and uninspiring. At this rate, they may as well have just had a fucking blank screen because it couldn't look any worse than this shit. Come on! This is Batman, not Bland Man. You know, one of the greatest superheroes ever? Have a title screen that's actually worthy of his name! Batman's character in the actual game, though, isn't too bad. He is big, I'll give him that. But some of his character animations flat out suck. Especially his jumping and his punching. Look at this punch of his! Christ, he looks like fucking Bat-Tard! And the enemies don't look much better. You know, just your standard Final Fight clones. They couldn't even bother to make him look like the fucking Joker's thugs. Heaven forbid they should actually put any effort into this game. Speaking of Final Fight, notice anything else from it? Oh, not much, just the fact that they practically copied and pasted one whole level from that game. But then again, who needs originality when you can just rip shit off? The only other good thing I could say about the graphics, aside from Batman, is that the Joker doesn't look too bad. Except him turning into weird colors and becoming radioactive when you hit him. But that could be chalked up to buggy, incomplete programming, so I won't slam him for that. Control-wise, the game is mediocre at best. B is for punching, A is for kicking, and X is for jumping. It's all very basic. However, one problem is that Batman punches and kicks so slowly that it allows enemies to get in cheap hits. Though in fairness, maybe they could have fixed this problem in later versions of the game. The gameplay, as I mentioned earlier, is your standard Final Fight clone. Nothing is very distinct about it. You go right, beat up bad guys, knock open barrels, you know the drill. When compared to another Batman fighting game, like say Batman Returns for the Super Nintendo, this one comes up really short, even in its incomplete state. Another problem is that Batman moves way too far to the right when you go in that direction, which can occasionally allow the enemies to get some cheap hits off you. They really should have centered Batman more and not allowed the screen to scroll that far. One other annoying aspect about this game is its blandness. Aside from Batman and the Joker and a mention of Gotham City, what else makes this a Batman game? You could plug almost any character from any comic book series into this game and it wouldn't make any fucking difference! That's how generic it is! Worse yet, the game designers tried to be cute and name one of the characters Alfred. You know, because Alfred is Bruce Wayne's butler? Get it? Oh, ha ha! How droll. The game does have one funny glitch, though. Namely, when you run out of health, you can still keep on fighting. Not that it really matters all that much anyway, because this game is so fucking boring that nobody in their right mind would play it for more than a level or 2. Once you get partway through level 2, the game loops back to the title screen. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear that the game designers were so embarrassed by the work they had done that they just gave up. And if that's indeed the case, then I am eternally grateful. You may have noticed by now, but this prototype doesn't have any music or sound effects. Considering how bad this game is, though, that might be a blessing in disguise. Having gone through this prototype, one question does remain. Could this game have been salvaged in any way? I'd like to say yes, but my gut tells me no. That they got this far and did this badly just goes to show how misguided their efforts were right from the start. Thankfully, though, this piece of shit was dropped and we were spared yet another terrible game based off the Batman license. So in conclusion, this game is just not worth playing. Unless perhaps you're fascinated by all things Batman or you just like to check out prototypes of unreleased games. In that case, have at it. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching. Christ, he looks like fucking bat tard!